on to entertainment. A couple of movies that came out recently, but since this is our first episode, this is our first chance to talk about a couple of them. In the real world, we had the Star Wars movie that came out just a little bit ago, and then more recently we have Bad Boys 3. So, my take on the Star Wars movie, and did you make it to that one with me?
Never made it to that one.
Okay, then that means Kyle Bright was with me on that one, so we went to see it ahead of time before it came out. And I liked the movie. I thought it was a lot of good humor in it. I liked the way the plot twisted, so I'm going to go ahead and give that movie about a B-. Couple of things in there were off. The title, having Jedi in the title, or not Jedi, but Skywalker in the title when there's no Skywalker in the movie. That thing was kind of frustrating. It was just a poor use of a title. So I get a little bit nitpicky when it comes to like my Star Wars and stuff. I know at the end, spoiler alert, she was like, I choose to be a Skywalker, but you still a Palpatine. I could choose to be, you know, a Tyler Perry son, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be T-Double. So anyway, that's my take. So I give it a B-, but I thought it had really good humor, great swordplay, and all in all, I liked the movie. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest go see it. You're going to have a good time. Now, I would ask him, you know, what he thought of Star Wars, but he ain't seen Star Wars. He's not going to go see Star Wars. Yep. Now, he'd be the first person, though, to pick up some of my kids' lightsabers and want to whoop my ass around the building. But other than that, I know it's a no-go for the Star Wars. Now, on to what I know he knows about. You go ahead and drop this one.
Definitely, I'm a big Bad Boys trilogy now fan, and you know, I got a chance to see it last weekend. I thought I would give it a B. You know, it's not, in my opinion, it's not, you know, close to Bad Boys 1 or 2. That's just hard to, you know, to match. You know, just everything was came together in those two movies. When it came to the comedy, the action, the seriousness of the movie, the message. You know what I mean? I think Bad Boys 3 definitely has a message. It was very exciting, entertaining. You know, Will and Martin, I think they have great chemistry together. You know, I'm not going to put too much detail into it, but it's a movie I'll definitely go see, definitely for entertainment.
Okay, so my take on Bad Boy 3 is this. Bad Boy 1 and 2 were better. This is more of Bad Boy. So if you like Bad Boy, you're not going to be disappointed when you see it. So the only problems I had with this movie, besides Martin Lawrence's head being too big to fit that body, I don't know how does your face get big? I don't know how you do that. So anyway, besides trying to figure out if that was some makeup from one of his fat movies, the only thing I had was they kind of set this movie up, and spoiler alert, and I'm going to crush it too, so turn this off or, you know, watch it and it's going to be spoiled. So the whole idea of this movie was to revamp the franchise by creating a whole new generation of this to come in. My thing is, their generation was doing just fine. At the age they were, they could have kept going. I mean, we remember Danny Glover being 100 years old talking about, I'm too old for this shit. So, I mean, we know. So they could have kept it going. But they wanted to make this to where there was a new legacy. So in this one, we find out, you know, at the end that Will Smith has a son. This son's, you know, wrecking shop. You know, by the time they reunite, sort of like the movie you hate, or not hate, but don't watch, Star Wars, he finds out, you know, Luke is his father, you know, so to speak. So at the end of the movie, they leave you knowing that there's going to be a Bad Boys 4, or perhaps, you know, a rebooting of the franchise starring a younger guy, probably with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence cameos. So I'm going to give this movie a B as well. I think it could have been a little bit better. They should have probably came out of it, you know, quite a while ago. It was like Rush Hour 3, you know. I mean, there was a huge gap between them, but you're brought right back into it. So for that, you know, that's their saving grace. It was just like stepping back into it. You didn't miss a step. Yeah. So I'm going to give that movie a B right along with you.
Absolutely, B. They give it a B for me.
All right, now on to what you're being told to watch. Now, anybody that hears this next title, you've been told to watch this. Aaron Hernandez. So, you know, a sports figure right along with your league. And if you want to take it from there.
Yeah, well, I got a chance to watch Aaron Hernandez, a Netflix special documentary, and I was just blown away by you know, what was inside of the documentary. It was very telling. It was very intense. It was very personal. You know, I didn't like the fact that, you know, people are coming out and talking about the sexuality part now,
Yeah.
and he's not here to
but
review.
nothing before.
But nothing before at all.
So leave that at the door.
I mean, it's all speculation, and but it made for a compelling story. I just didn't think that part of it was really fair to him. Not that you have to be fair to him, but if you're gonna accuse somebody of something, then they should be able to defend themselves.
Well, especially and that's the same problem I had with this, a documentary setting. So your whole goal is to keep it as real as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So don't, the hearsay, that's fine to drop those in there, but they clearly, they wanted you to think this way.
Yes.
And I just didn't appreciate it. You didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But as far as telling the story of it, I mean, that's some deep, crazy mess right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have it all and to just throw it away like that, man, it's inconceivable to me. How many people have you met in your lifetime that would sell their soul just to have one of the opportunities he had?
I mean, I just hear it every day. If I did what you did, I would be where you were. I'm just like, yeah, man, it's not easy. Everybody thinks it's easy, and to try to diminish the whole process of becoming a professional, but it goes into the mind of the influence that he was under. It's obviously being influenced by someone, or trying to, or the trauma that he's experienced growing up, all contributed to where he was, and in combination with the physical nature of football. The brain. I'm interested to see what his CTE scan comes out to be for his for brain damage and
CAT
see
scans
the CAT scans. What's the disease called that they have now for professional football?
The concussion thing.
Yeah, it's a disease.
I can't think of it. Yeah,
it's C something.
But it's real.
But it's real, and you saw it in Aaron Hernandez, and that's and I think. You're seeing it a little bit with Antonio Brown. I mean, if you're following Antonio Brown and his kind of demise, and we're sitting and watching him like self-destruct. You know what I mean? And it's sad because the only person that can help themselves is the person that needs to help themselves. And we can all want it for you, but if you don't really say, you know what, I'm ready to change my life. I'm tired of getting in trouble. I'm tired of arguing with everybody. The person has to come from within. And it looks so easy. It's like, get him help, get him help, get him help. But they won't tell you what's going on, so you don't know what kind of help they need. Mm-hmm. And they won't walk themselves in and get them help due to their pride or they're in their mind, I don't need help. So Aaron Hernandez definitely falls into that category, and it was definitely a big, huge fall from grace.
Which is our next one. But before we do that, on the record, what's your letter grade?
I give the documentary another B. I would say B plus. I give it a B plus. Just that part about just the speculation part. I prefer to leave out
speculation out of it.
You could just say it, but you don't have to have anybody on camera interviewing, talking about it. And this man is not here to defend himself.
And I got to be real with that. For me, that's a whole letter grade just for that, because it takes away the authenticity and the realness of what you think that you're watching, and it lets you know right then that this is has been shapened. So if I'm watching a documentary, I just want to watch the pieces as they unfold. So for me, I'm only going to give this a C. Now back to the fall from grace. Now I'm just going to say this. Spoiler alert. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie an A for one and one only reason. When that man took that bat to the head, I felt that. Now, how are you going to talk so much mess with your back to the woman sitting in the chair? And you got your head cracked open like that. For that, I'm sorry. That was I was not expecting that. I mean, I'm coming from movies like, it might be a little Ike and Turner. There's gonna be a little friction here, a couple little punches or whatever. That bat scene was brutal. Tyler Perry, I don't know how left field you went on that one, but man, my eyes woke up and I was ready for bed. I was getting tired. All of a sudden, that bat went to cracking, and I woke right up. Now that was some vicious stuff. If you're not a fan of Tyler Perry, whatever, check this out for the visuals, because you ain't seen nothing like this. Now, this was some crazy cinematography there. The rest of the movie, I give it a C, right along the lines of most Tyler Perry movies. But because I saw something I ain't never seen and something so brutal and he had it coming too. Every crack of that bat, I was like, swing that bat. I was like, swing that bat. Yeah. So, I was in there. So for that, I'm gonna give that movie an A, and you get the curve grade. Otherwise, it would have been a C.
Right.
Your takes?
I mean, I thought it was a solid movie for Netflix. I mean, I haven't seen many great movies on Netflix. I don't think I'd give any Netflix movie an A. But you know, it was definitely entertaining. I'm a guy who loves twists in movies, and definitely a little bit of a twist in that movie.
Oh yeah. What'd you think of the ending?
I mean, I thought the ending was just so predictable. Honestly, like,
that's what I keep.
After the twist, it just became predictable what was about to happen, and typical TP. And I'm a big Tyler Perry fan. Or anybody who has that kind of work ethic, regardless of how great his content is. I mean, or good or bad his content is. He's one of those guys that I have utmost respect for because of his work ethic. He's putting out content for us to even talk about. But you know, I just thought that it came a little bit predictable after that. There's a lot of movie mess ups that was floating around the internet, and you know, stuff that they did and people were laughing about. So he said he filmed it in 5 days. Some parts of it looked like it was filmed in 5 days. So I'm gonna give it a C+. I would have been with you till that bat scene. And the bat scene. I felt it was real aggressive, but. You know, I thought that you know, it was entertaining, but it was just, you know, it was the twist in it that entertained me.
And how you bounce back from that bad attack, that's the thing I don't know. So
right.
Anyway, with that being said, that's going to close up the very first episode of the AJ
and Titus Show.
That's right. So we're going to come to you pretty much every single week, unless we get this thing wrong, and we'll have to tweak it and work that out. But you will be seeing every episode Saturdays between 3 and 4 on our YouTube channel at the AJ and Titus Show.
Let's go.
So make sure you tune in. We're going to try to get our base really big, bring special guests in. At some point, we're going to be doing some mad giveaways in the area. And definitely shine a spotlight on this city and the talent within it. Present company right here, it gets no more talented. So with that being said, good night and adieu.
Yep. Good night. Good to see you guys. See you next week. Peace.
Next week. Holler.